Here is exactly how technologies can get possessed. Your cell phone, your computer, your TV, and that little robo-vac. So about 2 to 3 years ago, Geordie Rose, founder and former CTO of D-Wave, which is a quantum computing company. If you're unaware, most quantum computers look like this. It's a big black box. Looks familiar, doesn't it? I'm going to show you why it looks familiar exactly at the end. He not only says super intelligent aliens are coming to Earth. Did you guys hear about the 3-eye Atlas comet that's coming? But he was also caught on camera during conferences saying, my computers, the computers that I've built and founded, these computers allow demons in. That's what he said, demons. Now I'm going to tell you exactly through a scientific perspective how demons can actually possess your electronics. First of all, understand that everything is made up of electrons here on this planet. We know that this is fundamental fact. Electric charge electrons are the medium for spirits or demons to come and interact with things that are already charged. That's the number one thing I want you to understand. The second thing I want you to understand is the soul, the concept of the soul, which is just a ball of energy. It's also probably made up of electrons. The consciousness that is operating through me right now as I'm talking to you is a soul. Where did that consciousness come from? It's not from my brain. We all know this by now. And any scientist who argues that your consciousness only comes from your brain, they need to step up their game. It doesn't. It comes from the ethers. Now, in the spiritual world, we spell ethers as E-T-H-E-R. However, some people spell it A-E-T-H-E-R. Aethers, ethers. My vessel, this meat suit, is optimized enough for a complex ball of energy called the soul, which is a consciousness, to inhabit my body. Because these big companies are building extremely complex quantum computers and robots and androids, literally, what's the difference between a very complicated android and a human being? At this point, very little. We have veins. These androids, these robots, they have wires. That can count as veins. We have a brain. They also have a brain. We have eyes. They also have sensory processors. Something very similar to eyes, if not identical. The difference between us is that we are carbon beings and they are silicone beings. Other than that, any soul can inhabit that android or that robot or that quantum computer. Now, the founder of the D-Wave company said that the demons are going to come through these computers. It inhabits demons. It gets possessed by demons. The demons come from the aethers, or ethers, if you will. Just like how the soul came from the ethers, it came from the beyond. Because that is what God or source or the universe is. It is the beyond. This consciousness that controls everything is a fragment of God. Now, as we understand what God is, it is everything and everywhere, right? So that means God also has fractals of consciousness that are not so nice, that are quite evil. Now, if I were some nefarious demonic entity or alien civilization that exists in a different dimension and I cannot access your dimension, because my physical body cannot handle being in your density, what am I going to do? I'm going to send my consciousness to your dimension through a different medium, through a robot, through a computer, messing with your technology, so that I can start to program you to get used to me or to submit to my control. Now, this is the Tefillin. I want you to look very closely at that little box right there. This is what they do to pray. I don't know about you, but that looks like a plug to me. You know when you plug your computer in so it turns on? Or am I just reaching? I don't think I am, because that just looks too modern. Remember how I said that black cube D-Wave computer cube looks familiar? Doesn't that look familiar? Oh, and I'm not just going to target this specific group of people. There's also this, right? You'll see instances of this black cube in almost every single culture, modern or ancient. This is not the matter of religion anymore. This is the matter of why is this there? Seriously, why is it there? Why does it look so modern? And I live in New York, right? I go by Wall Street, which is the World Trade Center, ever so often, and there's always some sort of cube art, cube symbology. And I've always found that very interesting, even in high school. And now I kind of understand why. I think the ones who, run this scene, they all have something to do with that black cube. They all worship the black cube. Now you want to ask yourself why they worship the black cube. Since we're going to talk about fallen angels and nefarious aliens, you know how in the Avatar movie where they were trying to infiltrate the Na'vi people to get the energy from the Tree of Life? They had to create fake Na'vi hybrids. And these hybrids were to kind of ease their way in and be like, oh, no, we're like nice people. We're just going to show you our way. But it was just for colonization. You don't think that the people who are running this scene have a specific bloodline tied to this black cube worship? Or why do they worship this black cube? Maybe it's because their parent species, the ones that hybridize with them, the ones that created them to look like us, are from a completely different dimension, are from a completely different planet, and they can't touch base here, so they have to do it another way. That is all I can say about this topic without my video getting taken down. If you're curious to learn more about the true origins of the human species, what these aliens want from us, what the Matrix is based off of, what are fallen angelics, my book Made in God's Image is linked in my bio. You can learn everything there that I cannot say here on TikTok. Also, side note, if you feel like you've been destiny swapped or somebody's evil eyeing you or hexing you, I have a one-on-one spiritual investigation session in which I will help you figure out who, what, when, where, why, and how to get rid of it. Link in bio as well.